What is going on, YouTube? Espresso Shuckle here, and today I've got a fun one for the ladder because we are hitting the Reg G ranked ladder with this Kyogre and Ludicolo team. Not gonna lie, Ludicolo's not gonna come to every single game today, but Ludicolo does have a little bit of fun. It's got a fun little bit of tech in its arsenal here because not only is this thing a fake out machine, we have Sweet Scent. Sweet Scent's going to be fun here because Sweet Scent actually lowers the target's evasiveness 2 stages, which is great because one of Kyogre's weaknesses is the fact that Origin Pulse does not have the greatest accuracy. Neither does Hydro Pump, neither does Thunder. But the nice thing here is Sweet Scent, it's a spread move. We're going to try to make Origin Pulse be actually kind of reliable and not having to worry about missing. We have a little bit of speed control here with the Icy Wind. We've got Weather Ball, and then we have Fake Out here to disrupt some momentum here. I also wasn't really sure what to throw on Ludicolo for a held item, so I have the Rocky Helmet here. And the Rocky Helmet is actually going to come in clutch here later on. A little bit of spoilers right there. But anyways, big point is I forgot I had the Rocky Helmet on Ludicolo while filming it. And originally I was thinking put a Covert Cloak on here to avoid Fake Out and all that, but that's kind of on my Tornadus here. So anyways, let's talk about the rest of the team here. We have Tornadus with some speed control. It's a Kyogre team. Of course, there's going to be Tornadus with Rain Dance as a secondary setter of rain. We have Bleak Wind Storm to have a little bit of spread damage. We have Tailwind for some speed control, which is going to be great because Chien-Pao loves to have that speed in its favor, especially going up against opposing Chien-Paos. So we have Sacred Sword here to just do a lot of damage to Dark-type Pokemon. We have Sucker Punch to do some massive damage, especially looking at doing some massive damage to Shadow Riders. That's going to be really nice to have in our back pocket. And then we have Ice Spinner here to destroy opposing terrain. We have Raging Bolt here with a Citrus Berry to give it back a little bit of HP once it drops below half. We have Thunderclap as a special alternative to Chien-Pao's Sucker Punch. We have Electro Web for a little bit of speed control while also having a spread option. And I figured, you know what, let's throw Weather Ball on Raging Bolt here. Since this is a rain team, we can have a little bit of water type coverage on our Raging Bolt. If we run into some sun, we have some fire coverage. If we run into snow, we have a little bit of ice coverage. Otherwise, I would recommend throwing Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse on, but I thought it would be kind of fun to play around with the Weather Ball tech, and plus we do have Calm Mind to raise our special attack and our special defense. We have Rillaboom here with an Assault Vest, which is going to be relatively nice. Rillaboom does Rillaboom things. We have Grassy Glide to take advantage of the grassy terrain. We have Fake Out as well. Ludicolo is not the only one here looking to disrupt some momentums here. We have U-Turn to pivot out Rillaboom, and then we have Wood Hammer to just do a lot of damage. Just get the big bonk out of the way right there with the Wood Hammer. And plus we also have our Kyogre, our restricted Pokemon. We have Terra Grass here to become resistant to electric type attacks, especially looking at opposing Thunderclaps off of Raging Bolts. We have a Grassy Seed to try to boost up Kyogre's physical defense, because I was thinking Kyogre's got great special stats, but it doesn't really have the greatest physical defense. So we're going to pair Kyogre with Rillaboom and potentially get a Grassy Seed boost off into it and then go from there. We have Origin Pulse and Thunder, as I did mention, both of which don't really have the greatest accuracy. Origin Pulse is 85, Thunder's 70 outside of the rain, and then we have Ice Beam for some general damage right there, which is relatively nice. Fairly standard Kyogre stuff outside of the Grassy Seed, so I figured, you know what, let's give this a try. Anyways, let's jump right on in to the battles. Okay, we have a non-Reg G team at all. Okay, we have Incineroar, Chien-Pao, Rhydon, which that's pretty cool with the potential Lightning Rod there. We got Entei, Urshifu, and Gyarados. Okay. So, this might be a fun time for Ludicolo. This might actually be a fun time for Ludicolo here. I think we can bring Kyogre. I think Chien-Pao is going to be nice as well to have our own, and then I think what I'm going to do is I might lead Tornadus Ludicolo instead. Bring Kyogre in the back. And honestly, Raging Bolt looks really nice too, not going to lie. We do have Electro Web, so I mean, I do have the spread option right there. Yeah, that is really nice, not going to lie. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we'll bring Raging Bolt in the back. We have Electro Web, which, I mean, the spread damage, or rather the spread option will get around Rhydon's potential Lightning Rod. And hitting Gyarados with Electro Web could be really nice. So, yeah. We can do that. We also have Speed Control on Ludicolo. Yeah, we have Icy Wind on Ludicolo, so that should be okay. And also, this might be a good chance to be able to Terastallize into a Water type and do some massive Weather Ball damage. That might be fun, not gonna lie. Alright, we have Entei and Incineroar. Alright, so I kind of want to Tailwind fake out the Incin and then Weather Ball Rain Dance the Entei. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I just hope I don't get burned. I also hope that Ludicolo should be fast enough to fake out Incineroar. No, they go Terra Ghost. Or they're Cobra Cloak, which I don't think they are. Yeah, they're not. What's Entei going to do? So much priority right here. Sacred Fire, okay. You know what? That's fine. I've got a decently bulky Tornadus. And honestly, I want to hit the Incin. I want to hit the Incin real good. We're going to Tailwind. Or, no, we already Tailwinded. We're going to Rain Dance. And we're going to Weather Ball. Sacred Fire did a lot of damage to Torn, so I don't think Torn has taken another hit, even with the Rain reducing the amount of Sacred Fire's power. But I think Ludicolo is going to be in for a good time. I think Ludicolo is going to do a lot of damage. Right, so Terra Water Ludicolo. We're going to become hard resistant to fire now. If they have Rhydon, I would love to hit that with a Weather Ball too. Right, we're gonna get Terastallization now. So the question is who is it? Is it Incin? No, it's Entei. Perfect. Entei's gonna go normal, so that's probably gonna be Extreme Speed. And that does mess with the plan right there. It does actually mess with the plan. But you know what? That's fine. We can reveal the Weather Ball. Kyogre can come in. Kyogre can turn on the rain for Ludicolo. So, anyways, it's not going to be a boosted Weather Ball this turn. So that did nothing. They're also going to U-turn off with Incin. That's a little bit rough, not going to lie. But, I mean, I have my Tailwind up. So I do have Kyogre to have in the back. I could also bring in Chien-Pao. I could bring Chien-Pao in. They're going to bring in their own. You know what? I think what I'm going to do... Alright, I have Raging Bolt. Okay. Electro Web could be nice. I mean, Kyogre can also do a lot of damage. I'm going to Sweet Scent, and I'm going to Origin Pulse. So long as I don't get knocked out from Extreme Speed Sucker Punch, I should be okay. I mean, this has got to be Kyogre. That's a lot of damage. There's Sucker Punch into Ludicolo. Okay. All right, here we go. Sweet Scent. -2 evasion. This is going to be nice and reliable now. And there's the Origin Pulse. Pew! Unfortunately, not enough to knock out the Chien-Pao, but not surprising in the slightest. I'm going to protect Kyogre this turn, and I'm going to Icy Wind just for the spread damage. Just get a little bit of chip off into the Entei, and also knock out Chien-Pao. And then with no more Sucker Punch, I can bring in Raging Bolt. I have Electro Web. I have Thunderclap. I should have a good time. And plus, I also have Weather Ball on that thing. So, yeah, that should be okay. I mean, depending on how many turns of rain are left, I mean, that could be really nice for getting Raging Bolt in. And then potentially Weather Balling the Incin. There's the Sucker Punch off into Ludicolo. Unfortunately, that's a critical hit. That's going to knock me out. Yeah. But the Rocky Helmet does knock out the Chien-Pao. So, I mean, it's trying. It is genuinely trying, the Ludicolo. Alright, so Chien-Pao goes down. We don't know who the fourth Pokemon is, but we do know there is an Incineroar. So, I think what I could do is I could just try to get a little bit of chip damage off into the Entei. I mean, Kyogre is probably going down, unfortunately, because we just saw how much damage that was. Unless I get the double, which I don't want to play those odds. Yeah. The funny thing is, if I had gone for the Sweet Scent again, like, I would have gotten to keep Ludicolo. Yeah, okay. I'm going to Weather Ball into the Entei, but I feel like I'm taking a Fake Out on the Raging Bolt. And I'm going to Origin Pulse. Yeah. I really think the Fake Out into Raging Bolt is extremely obvious. Unfortunately, though, I can't protect Raging Bolt. And I already burned my Terra on Ludicolo, so yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Alrighty, let's see here. Maybe the Extreme Speed Raging Bolt and Fake Out Kyogre. No, they just Fake Out, yeah. There's the Extreme Speed. Oh, but they went into Raging Bolt. Okay, okay, hold on. We're going to connect the Origin Pulse for the double knockout. Okay, okay, Raging Bolt does not care about that Extreme Speed. I mean, it did get faked out, so unfortunately I can't call mine, but I mean, that's great. That is great. Now what I could do is I could always go for Weather Ball or Thunderclap, depending on what this is. It's Urshifu. It is Single Strike Urshifu, which I don't really love, but I'm gonna Electroweb, and I'm gonna Thunder. There's Wicked Blow into Kyogre. Yeah, that's a knockout. But the nice thing here too is the Electroweb giving me a speed drop into Urshifu could be huge. Yeah. Because now I can Thunderclap. And this gets around Sucker Punch. So long as Raging Bolt survives... Yeah, like, if Raging Bolt survives, it's like, we're fine. There's Wicked Blow. We do survive. Yeah, we can just Thunderclap. So we're going to get our Citrus Berry off, so... That is nice. We're going to get some more HP. And we can just Thunderclap the Urshifu right here. And plus, the nice thing is, Thunderclap is not reliant on the rain. So, yeah, we can just Thunderclap there. And, yeah, we just finished the deal right there. We sealed the deal. I don't know why I said we finished the deal. But, I mean, Raging Bolt finished the job, so maybe that's where my mind was going. Honestly, I think that was a really cool, cool team. And plus, I mean... It's a restricted format. The fact that my opponent didn't bring any restricteds and then just brought me down to my Raging Bolt, that's really impressive on their end, not gonna lie. I think what they needed to do, though, is I think they just needed to Extreme Speed my Kyogre, and I think that would have knocked me out. Like, yeah, they had sort of ruined, like, lowering Kyogre's defense when they Extreme Speeded me, but I don't think Kyogre was taking another one, even without it, so... I think if they had faked out Raging Bolt and then Extreme Speed at Kyogre, I think that would have won them the game, to be completely honest. But anyways, I think that was a really good game. Be sure to show my opponents some appreciation down in the comments below. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, we have a Groudon team with Raging Bolt, Whimsicott, Walking Wake, Ogerpon, Heartflame, and Incineroar. So, definitely going to have a Weather War here. Kyogre might be alright. I don't dislike Ludicolo getting Fire-type Weather Ball, so, I mean, it's not terrible. We could always bring in Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao could be nice. Actually, Tornadus might not be bad either. We could always lead Tornadus with Kyogre, because we do have the Rain Dance right here, so we could potentially do something like that. Rillaboom might not be a bad pivot point either. Now, I don't have a strong means of hitting that Raging Bolt for super effective damage, so I think maybe Chien-Pao could be a good means of rounding that out. Or what we maybe do is we bring Chien-Pao and Tornadus in the lead, Kyogre and Rillaboom in the back, And then this way too, if I need to turn on the rain, I can. If I need Tailwind, I have it. Chien-Pao can do some super effective damage to stuff. Yeah, I don't dislike that. And being able to go for an Icicle Spinner, or not an Icicle Spinner, an Ice Spinner into Raging Bolt, that might not be terrible either. So let's see right here. It's going to be Walking Wake Ogerpon, so alright. My opponent's not opting to bring out the Groudon, which is a-okay with me. Walking Wake could be a little bit of a problem, but not the end of the world. Alright, Booster Energy is actually going off right now, so it is going to be a special attack boosting Walking Wake. So, I think what I could do is I could just Bleak Wind. I could Bleak Wind and switch in Kyogre. And that would get me around Ogerpon with a Follow Me. What I could do too is I could also Sucker Punch or Ice Spinner potentially with Chien-Pao. See here, Chien-Pao is going to be really important for dealing with that Raging Bolt. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Kyogre. So we'll get a Kyogre, we'll get the rain, we can have that Bleak Wind. We might get a speed drop into either the Ogerpon or the Walking Wake, which could be nice. And plus, if they want to bring in Groudon, I mean, that's fine. We're going to take a boosted Hydro Steam, unfortunately, but, I mean, Tornadus is going to take that, no problem. Ivy Cudgel is going to go out into Kyogre. Fine with me. The rain is going to weaken that. We're going to take a lot of Ogerpon's HP right there, which is great. So, I think what I can do here is I could actually pivot into Rillaboom and go for an Ice Beam into Ogerpon and finish it off. And honestly, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to get that defense boost. Terastallizing into a Grass type might be okay. But I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to Tailwind, let Torn go down, and I'm just going to Ice Beam into the Ogerpon. Alright, they're going to Spiky Shield. I was kind of maybe expecting a Groudon switch. But I mean, I don't mind getting the speed up. If Torn goes down, we lose the ability to reset the rain, but I mean, it's fine. I do have super effective damage with Kyogre into Groudon, so long as they don't Terastallize. And if they Terastallize into a Fire type, I mean, I still have the Origin Pulse. So there is that. So I'm going to either bring in Chien-Pao here to do some decent damage to the Walking Wake, or I just go for damage to the Ogerpon since they just Spiky Shield it. So I think Ice Beam should be enough to knock out Ogerpon. And I really like the idea of going for the Ice Spinner into the Walking Wake. So I think maybe that should be okay with the Sword of Ruin boost to my attacks from Chien-Pao. So that should be okay. And I don't know, maybe if they decide they're going to switch in Groudon, I do have Ice Beam. So there is that. So we do pick up the Walking Wake right there, which is handy. And if they decide they're going to bring in Raging Bolt, I mean, I do have Terra Grass to become resistant to Thunderclap, so there is that. Chien-Pao does have its Focus Sash still intact too, which is huge, so getting Rillaboom in could be alright as well. So here comes the Groudon, that's fine. If they want to turn on the rain, I mean, or turn on the sun, that's fine. Raging Bolt will get a Photosynthesis boost, but I mean, Chien-Pao is going to be alright. And I also can get a physical defense boost by switching in Rillaboom for my Grassy Seed, so there is that. So I'm going to pivot in Rillaboom. And I think I'm going to Terastallize and just go for an Ice Beam into the Raging Bolt, just to try to get a little bit of chip damage. They might Electro Web, they might Snarl. If they Thunderclap, I mean, I'll resist it, no problem. If they Electro Web or Snarl, I mean, I do still have Tailwind up, so that is going to help. And plus, until they break the Sash on Chien-Pao, Chien-Pao's fairly safe. Because I can always go for a Sucker Punch into the Raging Bolt at a later date, too, so. Let's see here. What is my opponent going to do with their Groudon? Are they going to Terastallize, or are they going to go for damage? Well, they might Terastallize, not go for damage, but the question is are they going to Terastallize Raging Bolt, or are they going to Terastallize Groudon? They might go for a Fire type attack into Kyogre, expecting Terra Grass, so there could be that. Let's see here. Groudon's going to protect, that's fine. What I could do is I could always pivot Kyogre out, actually. That's a chunk. That is a good chunk. All right, so Thunderbolt's going to come out into my Rillaboom. That's great. What I could do, I could Wood Hammer, and I could pivot out Kyogre. Or what I do is, pretty sure this is my last turn talent. Yeah, it is. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to U-turn into Groudon. I'm going to switch Kyogre out. I'm going to bring in Chien-Pao. And I'm going to reset the rain. Because this is their last two. I might as well get rid of their Photosynthesis. And on top of that, if I get rid of that, I can also make Fire-type attacks do less damage, which is nice. So, we're going to get Terrestrialization out into Raging Bolt. All right. Terra Dragon, that's fine. Ice Beam is still going to do super effective damage, which is great. And Chien-Pao will love to hit that thing, potentially with a Sucker Punch or an Ice Spinner, depending on what Chien-Pao takes. If they double up into the Kyogre slot, that's going to really suck for Chien-Pao, seeing as Chien-Pao will take the damage. But if they don't, great. So, I don't really love dropping my physical defense boost, but I mean, getting the weather back in my control is a lot better. So, Kyogre and Groudon are both heavy Pokemon, so that is kind of nice that we did take that. Right, so I think what I can do here is I can Origin Pulse and Sucker Punch. I just need to hope I connect the Origin Pulse. Yeah. The big thing is Groudon can protect. We haven't seen it off the Raging Bolt yet, but I mean, at the same time, that's okay. I mean, I don't hate going for Sucker Punch into Raging Bolt. Getting a little bit of chip damage is going to be great, especially since Origin Pulse is going to be boosted. So, I mean, they might just go for Thunderclap trying to get damage off into Kyogre. Yeah, there's Thunderclap. That's actually into the Chien-Pao slot, so that's okay. And Groudon's actually faster than my Kyogre. Okay, that's good to know. But if I connect the Origin Pulse here, yeah, it should be game. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so a little bit precarious having to take Heat Crashes while being a Grass type, but I mean, we were able to take a boosted Draco Meteor. And Sucker Punch just did so much damage to Chien-Pao. Like, that Sword of Ruin is a really nice thing right there. And plus, the other thing, too, is Sword of Ruin's actually making Kyogre's defense a little bit worse, so yeah. Heat Crash was a little scary there, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. Good game to my opponent. All right, we have Shadow Rider with Weezing, Regigigas, Indeedee, Urshifu, and Tornadus. Okay, so Psychic Terrain could be annoying, but I do have access to Ice Spinner, which is great. I think I can bring that. I think I can bring in my Raging Bolt. I think I can Ice Spinner, Calm Mind, potentially. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm going to bring Kyogre in the back, and I think it's not great because I wanna take advantage of the fact that I have Swift Swim, but I can't really do that with that Weezing there. Okay. Chien-Pao could be okay. Do I think the Indeedee has an ability shield? Because if they do, not great, but if they don't, awesome, because I can still Sucker Punch. Okay. We're going to bring in Tornadus, so we're going to go from there. Yeah. This is a bulkier Tornadus, though, so this could be a little bit of a problem for having my speed. Like, I might need to actually rely on speed, which could be a problem for Torn, depending on Weezing. It's going to be Urshifu Torn. All right, so it's Single Strike, which, I mean, Raging Bolt doesn't dislike this. Chien-Pao does not love the... Chien-Pao does not love the dark typing with the fighting stab. But you know what? We're going to Calm Mind Raging Bolt. We're going to let Chien-Pao do what it needs to do. We're going to try to get the Sacred Sword off of the Urshifu. If we can, great. A Calm Mind boost into Raging Bolt could be nice, especially since we know that a Wicked Blow isn't necessarily a deal breaker for me. So if I can get a Calm Mind off and get my special attack up, and then I have stronger Thunderclaps, all the better. There's going to be a Tailwind coming, which makes sense. It's actually U-turn into my Chien-Pao. Okay. So, who's coming out here? Is it going to be Shadow Rider? If it's Shadow Rider, that's not great, but, I mean, I do have Sucker Punch. I do have Sucker Punch, and I do have a special defense boost coming. It's going to be Wheezing, so you know what? That's fine. That makes me think Regigigas is probably in the back. They weren't Rocky Helmet, which was good too, because I was a little bit worried about that. Like, Rocky Helmet into Chien-Pao, that would be a bit disappointing, but you know what? That's fine. I think I'm going to protect Chien-Pao this one turn, and I think what I can do is... I think I can go for another Calm Mind, with the reason being it's Wheezing and Tornadus. Neither of which are known for being the bulkiest. Now, they do have a Tailwind up, so they could potentially taunt my Raging Bolt. But I think this might be okay, because if I can get the +2 special defense, Shadow Rider's not going to be doing a lot to me. If I can get to +2 special attack, I can do a lot of damage. Terra Ground, Tornadus. Do I think there's a Terra Blast coming my way? And if there is, do I think it can do, and do I think it does enough? No, it's just Air Slash. All right, that's fine. If I flinch, I mean, I flinch, but I should be okay here. So, I safely get my second Calm Mind up. I think what I'm going to do... I think I'm going to try to get my Tornadus in here. Or in the bare minimum, I think what I'm going to do is... I think I'm going to Sucker Punch into the Torn. And... I'm going to try to Thunderclap the Wheezing. Yeah, I mean... Oh, that's so much damage. Not enough, but... okay. That was nice from Raging Bolt. Not gonna lie. Bleakwind Storm is coming out here. Who's dodging it? It's Raging Bolt. Alright, you know what? I can live with that. I can live with that a lot. I have Fairy Terra on Raging Bolt. I think Raging Bolt's actually going to be the big condition right here that I need to be able to try to get around yeah, I think Raging Bolt's going to be nice for trying to get around Urshifu. And Tornadus has, or not Tornadus, Kyogre has Ice Beam for the Torn, which is great. And I'm going to Thunderclap that Wheezing again. If they switch out, great. If they don't, that's not terrible either. Like, Fairy Terra on Raging Bolt's going to be really nice for dealing with the Urshifu. And we got rid of the Wheezing, so now I'm going to get my Rain, which means I now have a Water-type Weather Ball. So, Air Slash is going to go into Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt doesn't care. And plus, Raging Bolt does have a Citrus Berry, so Urshifu is going to be forced in here, which is nice. If Calyrex is the other one, I really like that. If they brought in Regigigas, fantastic. Now, no more Tailwind, which is nice. I can always Tailwind, and I can try to do some decent damage with Raging Bolt. If Urshifu... Well, I mean, Urshifu is coming in. I'm going to Fairy Terra, and I'm going to Electro Web just to try to do some damage. I need to be able to take a attack from Calyrex here, which should be doable at the end of the day. I'm going to Origin Pulse. I'm going to Origin Pulse, and I'm going to Thunderclap into the Calyrex just to try to get a little bit of chip damage. There's a Sucker Punch into my Kyogre. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to get a Thunderclap off into the Calyrex. That's a lot of damage. Astral Barrage is coming out here. I also just realized I didn't Fairy Terra, but you know what? That's fine. Getting Tornadus in here is going to be nice. I can... Good Life Orb, that's good to know. I'm going to Terra Fairy, Raging Bolt. I'm going to Tailwind, and I'm going to Thunderclap. I think that's all I need. What's my speed at? Yeah, I'm 96. There's no way I'm outspeeding that Calyrex. But I do have Dark Terra too, which is nice. You know what? I'm just going to Fairy Terra. I'm going to Thunderclap. And honestly, if I get rid of Calyrex, all the best. Being able to Bleak Wind into the Urshifu is going to be nice. Unfortunately, Kyogre didn't really get to do anything right there, but I mean, Raging Bolt was able to get the +2 special attack and special defense, which is the main reason why it's still surviving. This does also cover for a potential Sucker Punch into my Raging Bolt, which is nice. Yeah, so that's a chunk, which I didn't really appreciate, but I mean, I can deal with it. Calyrex is going to dodge that, but I mean, we're dropping Urshifu right there. So, I didn't see a Sash animation go off, but I mean, yeah. 1 HP, that's pretty nice. Sucker Punch is going to come out here, 8 HP. We do get to hang in there with Raging Bolt. We knock out Calyrex. And this Bleak Wind Storm is going to come in here and get some payback into that Urshifu. So, also, because Calyrex faints, I get to eat my berry. So, you know what? That's all the best, too. So, I do have a little bit more HP, so I can live another Sucker Punch. And Bleak Wind Storm just comes in, cleans up Urshifu. So, that worked out really nice. Calm Mind, Raging Bolt definitely got to pull off a lot of work there. I mean, Terra Ground Tornadus was interesting and definitely a little bit scary for Raging Bolt. But, I mean, as soon as Kyogre got rid of the Torn, Raging Bolt was going to have a phenomenal time with Thunderclap, so very happy about how that worked out in the end. Good game to my opponent. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out this Kyogre team in action. I hope you guys had some fun today. I certainly did. We ended up playing up against Groudon as one of our restricted opponents, so who doesn't love a Kyogre Groudon classic showdown right there. We also got to play up against Calyrex Shadow Rider, which always a strong opponent to go up against, and you know, was very, very satisfied with the fact that it wasn't Chien-Pao that brought down that Shadow Rider, but rather Raging Bolt with its Thunderclap. Getting the +2 on Raging Bolt was really fun right there. And then we got to play up against a non-Reg G team, and also again, props to that opponent for giving me such a hard time. I think they definitely did a really good job. And like I said, if they had targeted my Kyogre with the Extreme Speed the second time with their Entei, that could have easily been a very different match for me, that's for sure. And honestly, that team was really cool. Although we didn't get to see it, they did have a Rhydon on their team, which I feel like Rhydon could be really spicy for messing with obviously Miraidon, but also Zekrom, and to a lesser extent, maybe even Kyogre or Kyurem Black, since they do both have electric-type moves in their arsenal. So I feel like Rhydon is a really cool tech, and I would have loved to have seen it, but I mean, I'm very glad that my opponent, well, yeah, you know what? I kind of wish I had seen it because I did play a Kyogre as my main restricted right there, so I would have loved to hit that thing with an Origin Pulse, but we didn't see that today, unfortunately. But anyways, point is, we had some fun. We got the Sweet Scent off with Ludicolo. We had a nice, reliable Origin Pulse, and honestly, Raging Bolt was more of the star of the show than Kyogre was, because that Calyrex Shadow Rider team had a Regigigas on it, and they brought their Weezing, but let Raging Bolt get to +2 special attack and special defense, which meant Raging Bolt was just doing a phenomenal amount of damage with Thunderclap. Like, we almost one-shot the Weezing with it. We ended up taking a huge portion of Calyrex's HP, and then Tornadus was able to just go for the Bleak Wind Storm and bring Urshifu down to about 1 or 2 HP as well. And Tornadus was actually the one to clean up that match. And plus, then there was also the Groudon team too, where we ended up having an opposing Raging Bolt and Groudon as the final 2 Pokemon right there. And by being able to pivot out Kyogre and reset the rain, we were able to gain control of the weather. And that also made it nice because Heat Crash was doing some decent damage to my Terra Grass Kyogre. So yeah, being able to hit that Groudon for an Origin Pulse and knocking it out was great. And plus we also got to do some massive damage to that Raging Bolt, the Terra Dragon Raging Bolt at that. So you know what? Very happy about how these matches played out. Anyways, be sure to let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. I kind of wanted Ludicolo to do a little bit more, but Ludicolo is a very hard Pokemon to use in this format. So the fact that it came to the one match, you know what? We're going to call it there. I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. So anyways, be sure to let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. I know I already said that, but anyways, I'm running out of things to say. See you next time. Bye-bye.